Good morning and welcome to Buckeye Wars. What's Buckeye Wars? Well, I thought it would be fun to make a collection of memories, little snippets, little things that I remember from my childhood. What was it like for me growing up in El Dorado Hills, California, back in the 70s and the 80s? I've told stories before of going to the El Dorado Hills swimming pool and how my brother and I had a season pass bought for us because it was a great place to take the kids so that the parents could have the day to themselves. And not that they were trying to get rid of us, although that might have been part of it because they had an awful lot of stuff to do all the time. But it was more a matter of making sure that we had fun. And it was a great place. And back in the day, there was two things that are not common now. One was you could ride in the back of a pickup truck, like a Ford F-150 pickup truck. You could ride in the bed of that truck as kids and just hang on to the side and bump around while your dad's driving you around. And that was fine. I mean, you put the dog back in there, you just go. Nowadays, you've got strict rules and everybody's pansy. And you gotta lock everybody down. And even if you have a dog in the back, it's got to be on a leash. And it's just silly shit. I mean, come on, man. Anywho, and there was another thing I was going to say, but I forget what it was. Damn it. Anyway, it was always my brother and we had friends at the pool. But we had friends at home, too. So this one day, we talked my dad into letting us gather up a few of the friends from back home that didn't go to the pool. Well, maybe once in a blue moon they would go, but they would stay home and do their own thing, and we went to the pool. Anyway, gathered up a handful of friends and threw them in the back of my dad's truck, and we drove down to Park Village. We were in Governor's Village. Drove down to Park Village and went to the pool with a bunch of my friends, and that was fun, being able to play with my regular friends at the pool because we knew the pool pretty well. We knew the people at the pool pretty well. But take my buddy Richard, and he rarely, I don't think he'd ever even been, at least with us, to the pool. And, we all had our towels and we spread our towels out and did our screwing around in the water, diving boards and whatever. And we had done a good bunch of playing around, and we decided to go lie out on the towels and dry off and just kind of chill and maybe, I don't know, sunbathe, because back in the day, sunbathing. Oh, I know what else I was going to say. It was the day of the CB radios. Everybody had a CB radio in their car. Some people actually had them at home, too, the home stations. Anyway, that ties into the story. But here's Richard. And the guys lined their towels up. One person next to another person, next to another person. And Richard was on my right. And another one of my friends, and I'll be damned if I can't remember who it was to my left. And if you looked across the way a little bit, maybe, I don't know, we could see them pretty well. But the girls, or a covey of girls, had lined up and we could sit there lying down on our bellies and look across, and the girls were kind of lined up across from us, a decent distance away, but they were facing us and we were facing them, just girls. And my friend Richard, I guess he knew everybody. He was one of those really friendly guys that everybody liked. And he turns to me and he says, "Watch this." And I'm like, "What?" And he's looking over at the girls. And for me, it was that time in my life where girls were starting to get kind of fun. I'm kind of liking girls, but I was not good with girls. And he says, "Watch this." And he's staring over at the girls, and I'm looking at him, I'm looking at the girls, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at the girls. And Richard goes like this at one of the girls. And I'm thinking, man, this kid got some balls. And I'll be goddamn, one of the girls looking back over toward Richard does it back. And I'm just like, no way. Because me and my regular friends, we like girls a lot. We really wanted to be friends with girls, but they were scary. And Richard licks his lips, and one of the girls licks her lips. And I was just floored. Just like, good, what the hell? I bring this guy once, and he's hitting on girls. And she's looking at him, he's looking at her. And of course, the other girls are kind of giggling because they're seeing what's going on. And our guys are seeing what's going on and are just floored that Richard was doing this. So I turned to Richard. I says, "Dare you go over there and talk to her?" And he gets up and does. He walks over, kind of bends down and talks to the girl. Next thing I know, he's coming over, grabbing his towel, going back over to where the girls are, and sets up his towel next to the girl. And he's talking to her and looking back over at us and grinning like a Cheshire cat. And I'm like, nuh-uh. Just, oh my God. Oh. Next thing I know, the girl that Richard has been talking to talks to the other girls, and the other girls wave us over. What the hell? So we end up having a little circle of guys and gals mix, which was just unheard of for the goobers that we were. And we're talking and we're making friends and just having a good old time. I'm like, what the hell? Ugh. And if I remember correctly, it was either that night or maybe the next day or 2 days or so later, I get a call from Richard, and he says, "Bob, grab your bicycle. We're going to go over to Terry's. I said, Terry? Oh, Jesus. That girl that we met at the pool? He says, yeah, Terry. So we we go over on our bicycles to the next village. We lived in Governor's Village. They lived in Crown Village, which was right, just not very far. And we head on over there, and Terry answers the door and invites us in, and we sit around and have fun. I don't know if we were playing games or doing whatever. And I look up, and around the corner comes Lori. Now, Lori was one of the most popular girls in the entire school. And if I remember correctly, we were in high school, and I was maybe, I want to say maybe a sophomore at that time, because we were playing with CB radios at that time. So it was a little bit older in my stories. It was, but Lori, it turns out that Terry was Lori's little sister. It also turns out that Richard knew the family. And the reason he had done the licking lips and so forth is he figured he knows her. He knows Terry and the family with Lori and so forth. And he wasn't sure whether I knew them or not, but he wanted to show off. So the whole story is just a matter of he knew her and was kind of messing around and figured that she would respond back and he could show off to the guys. Anyway, here I am in the house of one of the most popular girls on campus, talking to and befriending her little sister. And she comes around the corner, and I was floored. Oh my God, I'm in the house of the most popular girl on campus. Anyway. And then as far as the CB radios, after we left Terry and Lori's house, instead of going straight back home, Richard said, let's go over here. I got another friend over here I want you to meet. Now, there was a little sweetheart that we had been talking to on the CB radio, or I had been talking to on the CB radio, and I guess Richard did too, but it was more me and a couple other friends were talking to this little gal who called herself Sweet Pea. Cute little voice. We didn't know her from Adam. We didn't know where she was. We just knew that she sounded cute. And we figured if it's a CB radio, she's probably around here somewhere. We just didn't know who she was. We go to this other friend's of Richard's house, and I'm meeting people that I don't know, but cute little girls. Wow, cute girls. And it turns out that one of the girls is Sweet Pea. We hear a radio, breaker and so forth. And she goes and grabs it and starts talking on it while we're there. And it turns out that she is Sweet Pea. Chuck another one up for Richard. He knew everybody. He knew Sweet Pea, and he knew Terry, younger sister of Lori, who was one of the most popular girls on campus. Gotta give it to him. My buddy Richard. How's that for a story, boys and girls? Whoo, baby. Thank you for joining me. Buckeye Wars.